What up, TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting you up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you are doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties. Not Ranger panties, but Ranger Instructor panties. The green socks, the knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt, don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and he has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So, as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah." So, after I instructed my coworker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I looked for the biggest rock. As I crow hop to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say hidden hoorah. So you tell me, stolen valor?
Hey, y'all, going to work. I left you a note on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. I was tooling along. Shit! Bad guy! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style.
Today's show is brought to you by the Farkas Group at the Veterans Mortgage Source. Are you looking for a team you can trust for your mortgage needs? The Farkas Group is our trusted partner on the podcast. I serve with Zach, and he will definitely give you the best rate possible. Their goal is to educate veterans across the country on their earned VA home loan benefit. If you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, reach out to these guys for competitive rates or any information you may need on obtaining a VA mortgage for your property. They are licensed in multiple states. If they are not licensed in the state that you live in, they will still give you the advice that you need and the rates you should be looking for.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to episode 83 of the Trash Talk Hour. Shout out to our sponsors, Zach Farkas with the Veterans Mortgage Source. You can check them out at Zach Farkas at vmsloans.com. 10th Mountain Whiskey, check them out at 10thwhiskey.com. Type in VTT, get a discount. Special guest today is Mike and Colin from the Ultimate Sacrafice Foundation. And today I'm joined by Nick, Buddy, and Joe. So welcome, everybody. Today's episode, we're going to kick off with the dumpster fire as usual, and we're going to talk about a conspiracy, okay? So for everybody that's watching or listening, if you ever watched the movie Fire in the Sky, all right, the movie is based on Travis Walton, okay? He was an Arizona logger in Snowflake, Arizona. Back in 1975, him and his boys were out in the woods. They just got done with a job, and they're driving off the site, and they see this big light in the sky. Travis wants to get out. Everybody's like, no, don't get out. Travis gets out of the vehicle, and this beam supposedly comes down and pushes Travis with this force, and he flies like 30 feet into the air. All the other guys drive off because they're scared as shit. You know, they think he died. Something crazy happened. 10 minutes into the ride, they were like, hey, we need to go back and check on our boy. So they turn around, come back to the site. Travis is gone. They rush back into town, immediately go to the police, file a report. Okay. Investigation is going on. 2-3 days on, you know, Travis is still not found. Cops are thinking, you know, maybe these guys murdered this guy. Polygraphs are done, like no murder, nothing. And then 5 days later, Travis shows up butt-ass naked by a gas station in this small town, shivering, dehydrated, all kinds of crazy shit, okay? They take Travis into the hospital. They do a polygraph on him as well. And suddenly, like a month in, PTSD starts kicking in. And he talks about being aboard this alien spacecraft where these gray aliens, all right, the grays, the big head, the black eyes, are probing this guy, okay, and doing all kinds of tests on him. Long story short, he went under hypnosis. Everything was validated being aboard this ship. And yeah, his buddies did multiple polygraphs after that. Nothing, you know, nothing on murder or some sort of, scam that they were trying to do. And I personally, I'm a big alien guy. Nick knows that. You know, I blame everything on the aliens. I truly believe that something fishy did happen that day. I don't know if it was aliens. I don't know if it's technology. But let's get everybody's take and let's see where we're at. Buddy, what you got?
Okay, first things first. What's up with these aliens and buttholes, dude? Can we talk about that?
I didn't ever said anything about buttholes, all
They're
right?
so sophisticated. Yeah, like why
He
can't
was
you
pro.
so
No,
broke
actually, buddy, that's a good point because he was on Joe Rogan. This is kind of what inspired me to talk about this. He was on Joe Rogan like 2 years ago, and I think they did stick something up his butt. So, yeah.
What information are they getting? Where do these aliens think our brains are at this point? Like, what info are they getting from our butts? Are they trying to find the elusive male G-spot? Like, what is going on in the butthole of humans is that where our USB port is? Is that
Everybody likes it there at some
iPhone,
point.
like plugging in like shit like an iPhone and just downloading all of our information through our butthole? Like, that's the part of that really bothers me about all of these alien abduction stories.
So you're saying it's true? They're raping everybody.
Look, here's my thing
It's
about
a bunch
aliens.
of horny extraterrestrials.
Here's my thing about extraterrestrials or aliens. Like, to think that the universe is like ever expanding, ever growing, and there's like millions and millions of planets that are just like ours all over the place, and to think that we're the brightest bulb in the pack is fucking
insane.
Is more crazy than thinking that there are aliens and that they have at one point been amongst us and that they come down. But what I don't understand is, why do they keep scooping us up and putting stuff in our butts? Like, just ask me a question.
Yeah.
If you're gray and you got big old eyes, just ask me. I'll tell you.
What if they are us? What if they are us in the future?
Yeah.
Are you? Shit,
Oh,
I'm glad
spot
I
on.
haven't had any of the marijuana.
I mean,
cigarettes, 'cause I've just,
So we're
I mean, I don't know. We could talk about this for hours and everybody else has their take on it. But
Yeah.
what if this is us in the future, like coming back, and that's just how we've
But here's the
evolved?
thing,
Because we're
even if
becoming
it's
weaker
us-
and weaker as men. Men are becoming smaller, not as strong. They're just, what if this is some crazy technology?
even
talking about?
even
Who
if
knows?
it's
Daughter plays
us,
football.
even if it's us in the future, At what point did we get so far in the future that we forgot what our buttholes do, and we're just like, let's figure it out?
Hey, maybe that was evolution. Maybe like
What
they
is-
saying the aliens evolved to not poop anymore. So they're like, what is this thing? And maybe every time they abduct somebody, they're fixing how they're going to evolve and not have to poop anymore.
It's like some weird extraterrestrial
science.
alien government that's like, hey, I'll pay you guys.
I just did
80
science.
billion.
That's science.
The chat is saying the perverted aliens. Kevin says drugs were better in the 70s. I wouldn't say
That's
that.
it.
That
Kevin,
100%
drugs have
they
actually
were.
evolved in time.
LSD
That's
and all
it.
that kind of
That's
stuff.
all.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's
Buddy,
we
last
call
word,
that
yes or
science.
no?
Nick,
Did it
I got
happen?
it.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Happened.
It happened. Boom. Thank you, buddy.
You call
Nick,
him a logger, all right? He's not a beer, he's a logger.
Oh,
Okay.
logger.
So, when you're I know Ken Willis watches this show. Ken will tell you all about the woods when you're logging. All right. And there's all these kind of little mushrooms growing up, out of the ground. Some of them you can't eat. Some of them you ain't supposed to eat, right? And you eat those shrooms. How can you tell me that this guy isn't think he's telling you the truth? Because
Correct.
he was tripping so many balls that it 100% happened in his memory.
Yeah, but how did
I got a
happen in his
conspiracy
memory
for
when
the
his other four
conspiracy,
buddies
if I can-
also saw that shit happen?
Yeah,
They
like
were eating
everybody.
the same
Dave.
shrooms, buddy.
Yeah, but why didn't they all go?
I
It's
gotta-
just like
Joe, you're up next. Give it a sec,
We
Joe.
evolved from monkeys. Well, then why the fuck are there monkeys still?
Hey, monkey can fly
Like,
a
if they
spaceship,
all took
okay?
the same
Science.
shrooms, they would have all been up there getting their buttholes pumped.
Yeah. I heard that we evolved from monkeys because there was a rainy season and the apes had to stand up to see over the grass. That's how it happened. Science.
Nick, did it happen or did it not
no,
happen?
no, drugs happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick's take is drugs. A bunch of dudes tripping on
Everything
shrooms,
that happened last night is
and they all saw the same shit. I mean, I guess it's plausible. How did he show up naked though in the middle of town after like a
Oh
couple days?
man,
He took his clothes off.
I got it. I
Yeah.
got the answer.
Joe, you're next.
See, Nick stole the beginning of my answer, but I'm going to answer your conspiracy with another one.
that's science. You build on.
I'm saying they weren't even up there for the logs. They were up there for the shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
They were on a steady diet of shrooms because they just harvested. They had a deal that went bad with the cartel. He gets kidnapped. They all make up a story to get out of going to prison. That's why he shows
on.
up. Hog
Wait a second,
tied,
Joe.
dehydrated,
Are you
and
telling
naked
me
'cause they
there's a
ripped off the
shroom cartel?
And they got
Shroom-
I watched
shroom
them
cartel.
Breaking Bad to know some shit goes down.
Man.
So
When
there you
was the
go.
last time you heard about it? Fucking
No,
thousands
no
of pounds
shit.
of
There they
shrooms
are,
been
picking
confiscated by the
shrooms.
police.
cartel by
They
When-
ripped off
when
the
all of a-
cartel. And he
When
went
all of a
missing.
sudden Gargamel
Okay.
and Papa Smurf
And they all
come
came
out,
up with
they're
an
like,
alien
yo,
story to
All
save
right,
their own hides.
so drugs, Joe. That's it. Didn't happen.
No,
Yeah,
not just
yeah,
drugs.
it's
drugs
cartel- it's a
plus
cart-
covered story for what their operation
It's a
was.
cartel job. Yeah.
Let's get to our guests. Colin, what are your thoughts on this? Right now, Buddy says yes, I say yes, Nick says no, and Joe
Our
says
viewers went up skyrocketing during this. This is great.
So I have 2 points. One, how many people watch Joe Rogan?
Not in the
I
future,
do.
we're gonna
34
have 1
million,
point of X.
right?
yeah. Don't cancel Joe Rogan. All right.
All I'm going
That
to say,
dude's
yeah, don't
badass.
cancel Joe. But
He's
what I'm
a
saying
racist.
is if a dude is willing to go in front of 34 million people and be like, hey, aliens suck something in my ass. And I believe him with an audience like
I'm
that.
saying he really believes it.
I'll say it right
Dude.
now.
You're a
For
lawyer.
34
Dude.
million people.
There is a theory that shrooms and LSD are the portal through which you contact aliens. So if they're tripping balls, if they're on drugs, maybe they opened up that portal on accident and fucking boop, alien.
We know a guy that can open
That's
portals.
Colin, that's a really
Maybe
good point.
somebody
And before
left
we
the
go
gate
to,
open.
to Mike, Nostradamus, and we can talk about it another time, was always on shrooms when he had his
That's what I'm saying.
prophecies. Whether you
That's what
believe
I'm
in
saying.
Nostradamus or not, but like Hitler and stuff, he did have a lot of prophecies that came true, and he was always on shroom, like his
They
mate
think
or
it's
whatever. Yeah.
It's a
the
vegetable.
burning bush that spoke to Moses.
Yes.
People think that was the acacia tree, and they were just sitting in a cave getting high as fuck, and
Yes,
God
sir.
talked to them. So
All right,
hey,
pay
I'm gonna
Mike.
go with
Yes.
True.
All right.
Boom.
You guys have pretty much used up all of my talking points. However, speaking of Nostradamus, I believe it was a Romanian woman, might have been Bulgarian, but I think it was Romanian. The Romanian
Same
Nostradamus predicted that aliens will come down disguised as an asteroid storm
fuck
or a
yeah.
meteor shower, whatever it may be. But they're going to come down and bring a big mothership and land here on Earth at the end of May. You all
I
Hell
can't
yeah.
wait.
Is it the
I can't
Anunnaki?
wait.
That's a whole nother topic. The Anunnaki
up?
is what they call them.
Wait, like this
Anunnaki.
May?
This
I don't know.
May?
This May, dude.
Oh,
May
fucking
2022.
bring it.
All right.
COVID's
Another
canceled,
psychic.
And we
There's
got
another
fucking aliens.
psychic, Betsy Lewis, who predicted something extremely similar. So time will tell.
Shit.
But what I will
COVID
say
wasn't shit compared to what we got coming.
100%. If the Russia-Ukraine conflict or war, whatever you want to call it, wasn't an eye-opener for 30-round magazines and 5.56 minimum, then let the end of May prediction be an eye-opener for it.
I mean, we've seen Independence Day. I don't think our ARs are going to do anything.
Everybody should get a javelin.
Michael, fire in the
5.56 or above,
sky.
that's it.
Fire in the sky. Did he get abducted or not?
Yes, 100%.
Boom. Well, turns out it actually happened. The panel
Hashtag
said
science.
yes, you know? So Travis Walton, we got to get you on the show.
I'm gonna get you the I told you so on this one. All right. So the minute one of you guys see a fucking alien, you let me know. All right. Make sure you take a video tape. And I do kind of agree with Colin to where if it's opening a portal, let's do it. I'll come to your house and we'll eat as many shrooms as we can.
Let's open some portals, dude. I'm good. Let's do it.
I like it. No, it could make sense. But this is actually a great segue into the Book of Earl that I will grace you guys with your scripture reading for the day. You know, when you open the Book of Earl, you don't have to really read it in order. You just gotta, just pick a page, right? And you're gonna be just mesmerized by what comes out of, the wisdom. All right. So
yeah, you also, a funny story, when you open that book, you also have to be on shrooms because the pages are
it's a portal. It's a portal to wisdom.
You have
right.
It's up to you.
Now I posted it on my page, VC's Big Earl, some scripture for you, where it's like, in America, all right, we have the freedom to be a fucking moron.
Yep.
Okay.
God willing.
People always forget that. Right. And again, when you start arguing about someone else's opinion in America for the sole purpose to make them think exactly like you, that's literally communism. All right. So now you are no longer an American because you want everybody to think just like you. All right. Now, like I've always said, if I'm in Dave's house and he's wrong about something, I'm not going to say a word. Right?
You will never
I'm not going to
tell anybody not.
I'm not going to embarrass him in his house. Right? Now, hey, this is not like if we're having an actual argument.
Beating his ass in foosball.
Right? I'm just saying if he's talking to his kids and like the sky's green, right? I'm just gonna look at whoever I'm listening to. What the fuck's he talking about? Well, let's get some of those shrooms, right? But I'm not gonna embarrass him because he has a right to be retarded. Okay, he has a right to not know shit. Okay, this is the blanket of freedom that is woven for people, right? To where when we make a funny Ukraine shirt, right, because it's fucking funny, right? We don't, whatever you want us to do with that money, if we make any, you guys have no idea. If you go on our website, you'll realize that we do donate, right? But it's like, you telling me what to do with my money is exactly how Putin feels. So you are now Putin because you are telling me what to do with my money. Like, why can't I sell 16,000 shirts and go buy a Porsche?
And by the way, we definitely didn't sell that.
We didn't sell that many, but all you Facebook warriors are on there talking about how we should have donated $10 million already.
We can donate the $50 we made to Ukraine if you guys need us to.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still waiting on my $2 check to come in the mail. That's
right. Well, you have to turn in the form first, buddy, and then you'll get the check. But the first paycheck's coming. So the first book of Earl was Quit Being a Triggered Pansy. Right. That's how it opens. That's page 1, chapter. Right? Like, everybody gets triggered. Don't become a pansy about it. It is literally okay for you to think that socialism might work in America. Right? It's okay to think that because you have, guess what? The right to be stupid. Okay. So I don't even get in real arguments with you. That's why I'm so funny on Facebook, because I don't give a shit. You literally have the right to not know, right? Every State of the Union speech in the last 20 years is like at an 8th grade level, right? That's who they're trying to reach. Fucking morons, all right? Like the moron is the one that believes that shit, okay? So anyways, that's the Book of Earl. Remember, all right, I think it's like chapter 4. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it's, you have the right in this country to be a moron.
Now go buy that shirt, shop.veterantrashtalk.com.
So over to you, buddy.
And absolutely zero of those proceeds are going to go to the Ukraine.
Right. We don't. Hey, I pay taxes in Ukraine using my fucking javelins right now. Okay. So there's my donation.
The fact is, and there have been several people that have been like, "Oh, are you guys sending any money from your Ukraine shirt to the Ukraine?" No. We sent troops to the Ukraine, and our mission is to bring awareness to and provide source of income to companies that help fight soldier suicide. What do you think is going to happen during and after they do get into a fight in the Ukraine? You ain't give money to the Ukraine. I'm going to save that money and give it to our guys that are coming back that have got all the same scars that we have. Like, to be honest, the Ukraine is in Ukraine, and they have Ukrainians that can fight, and they have plenty of money, plenty of bullets. Like, my $3 for a $2 for a shirt is not going to do anything to help any Ukrainians. Not to mention,
I gotta cut you off.
That's
one more
fantastic point, though.
I'll let you finish. I forgot something.
What kind of selfish douchebag are you that in order to, like, if you want to give $30 to the Ukraine, find a charity and donate all $30 to the Ukraine. But you want to donate $2 to the Ukraine and get a shirt so that you can wear a shirt and then say that you did something. Well, you really didn't do anything. You bought a shirt. You bought a shirt.
We had a guest on here that was in the unit, right? Like Suck My Unit, right? He was in the unit, right? I think he was Snake Doctor was his call sign. But he made a very interesting post today that, this is why when I pick UFC and I'm a legend at it, right? If you're from the Eastern Bloc, you're going to win the fight because that's what you're born to do. You are born to fight. So he made a really good post where he's like, it's really nice to see men fight for their country. And then he hashtagged Afghanistan and Iraq. 100%. Right. And we all remember when the bad, evil Republican conservative people were saying, like, we should not be accepting military age males from Afghanistan. Right. And, but, oh, you're a racist. Look what happens when you stay and fight. Look what happens when you're allowed to have guns. Right. You can literally hold off one of the biggest armies in the world. So again, sorry, buddy, I had to cut you off because that was my point.
No, you're good.
European people are gonna fight, and they don't need your $30 fucking. Okay, so go ahead, buddy.
Although, if you want to spend, you want to throw an extra like $1,500 on that and get yourself a plane ticket, they could probably use somebody to hold a gun.
Yeah, they are asking for people. They're asking for trained fighters, and there's actually a lot of people from Europe and everything flying over there right now to.
I already got the former heavyweight champ. They still need trained fighters.
Time at about midnight last night, I was trying to figure out how you volunteer to go fucking play around in the Ukraine, but.
I wonder if anybody asked like Klitschko to go punch a tank.
Yeah. It's like,
the chat saying Casey is saying
champion of the world is fighting right now.
Yeah, Casey is saying everyone has the right to send their money where they please. Correct.
It's called freedom.
Yep. Kevin says absolutely.
Precisely.
Nothing's stopping anyone from sending their own hard cash over to the Ukraine in support. Why should you guys be expected to turn your hard-earned dollars over? Yeah, very good point.
The fact is, we do turn our hard-earned dollars.
We do.
Yeah, we've already chosen that. See, that was Buddy's point that was stated so perfectly, was that we've already chosen our fight. And we've had to say this before. We've chosen our mission, and we chose it for a reason. So we got our fight. What's your fight? Don't tell us how to fight a different one. Tell us what's your fight.
Yep. What are you doing? Put your skin in the game. Yep.
Hey, buddy, you going to talk about this Karen from CIF?
Lord have mercy.
Oh, beautiful. I can't wait.
I'll tell you what. So I think the moral of this story, so the way that this happened, it was, first of all, it was basically like the female, the spouse in the story was kind of like Russia, and this guy was kind of like kind of the Ukraine, just tinier, a little bit weaker. Anywho, but I go into CIF the other day, and everybody knows that if you're going into CIF or the Central Issue Facility, if you will, like you're on your best behavior. You're yes mamming people, you're yes sirring people, you're biting holes in your tongue and your lip so that when they say this is dirty or I can still see your last four, you don't lose your mind and go, well, what the fuck does my last four have to do with anything? You're like figuring anything out from that. Like, just take the shit. Like, it's not new. Oh, this is dirty. Yeah, because it's spent 10 years in like deployments. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, so I go into CIF, and as I'm walking out to take my rucksack full of dirty pouches back out to my truck so I can go wash them after telling her, oh my God, you're right, ma'am. These are so dirty. I can't even believe I brought them in. What am I thinking? So I go to take them outside, and there's this little dude. He's probably like 150 pounds, 5'6". He's picking up his stuff. And I go and drop my stuff up. I come back in, and I see that it's not just him, but it's also what I will later find out, his wife, in this oversized pink hoodie. She's a thick girl in his oversized pink hoodie. And and this dude is in, like, he looks straight hipster, like woven cap, lumberjack shirt, tight pants. He's picking his stuff up. She's grabbing stuff with one hand, on her phone with the other. She's also got pajama bottoms and like Crocs on. It's amazing. It's like the people of Walmart decided to go to CIF that day. Anyway, she gets on the phone in the middle of the waiting area. It's like, these motherfuckers won't let him fucking do anything because he's not in uniform. Stupid as shit. Blah, 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 blah. Running her mouth loud as shit, to the point that the CIF people walked them out. And they were like, yeah, you got to go. First thing, everybody knows when you go to CIF, you have to be in uniform. I was in uniform. I just went and got myself a sweet shaving profile because I get these bumps and everything, these ingrown hairs. So I go in there.
You're welcome for teaching you that, buddy.
Uniform and a beard. Never had a shaving profile a day in my life. Boom, got one just for CIF. So, and nobody said a word. They were perfectly fine with the entire thing. No big deal. But I was in uniform. This guy shows up not in uniform. Also, he's PCSing apparently. So they say, hey, no, we can't serve you unless you go get your uniform on. She loses her mind. They walk them out. And I was just sitting there like, thing number one, why would you show up not in uniform? Thing number two, and I don't care if your spouse is a man. I don't care if your spouse is a woman. I don't care if your spouse is non-binary, pan, trans, any of it. Don't bring your spouse to a military appointment that has nothing to do. She can't make it better. She can only make it neutral or worse. Probably worse. The spouse can't make it better. They can only make it neutral or worse. Secondly, when they do start making it worse, how are you going to do not let your spouse get out of pocket and ruin anything that you got, because you're going to have to come back there. Do you think it's going to make it easier? Do you think the CIF is going to be like, oh, yeah, that's that guy that's being abused by his wife. We should just take his shit. No, they're going to make your life hell just to prove a point. Like, nothing better. That's the only time I've ever seen an actual Dependa Karen lose her mind in a scenario like that. And I was awestruck. They were still there waiting when I left, and I almost went back inside.
You almost turned into an NCO again.
No. I almost went back inside just to sit and just like, I'm just going to watch this pan out because it's going to be fun. Like, it's going to be funny. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Those of you who don't know, I picked up my DD-214 yesterday.
Nice.
And,
on Monday.
Yeah. And, but they're tested. There's always a test, right? And so I have my final stamp. It's all I need, right? And this kid comes in PTs in cowboy boots. And I'm like, I'm getting out today. I'm going to let him go.
It's golden wall.
When I saw it, like I had the chair already in my hand, like it was gonna be bad, and it was like the old 82nd guy that got me under investigation. my whole entire first sergeant career, because you can't talk to normal soldiers like that, just paratroopers. So like when you talk to normal soldiers, they get offended, right? Like the chair almost came across, right? But again, it's like, I'm getting out, like, it's your day, boss, man. You do what you want to do. You rock it. And then same thing. A guy showed up to CIF with a beard, like down to here with a mask on it, right? But he was in uniform. Okay, like he at least did that. But you can tell this guy gives $0. Like you show up in PTs and cowboy boots on a military base.
Yeah, it's savage.
You're not worth even yelling at.
Yeah.
You're like,
he's probably getting kicked out of the army.
Yeah, your fuck meter is way down here. Like if I start yelling at you, like what's it gonna do? Like it's just
he's probably a chapter that was getting ready to swing off on Nick. He's like, man, I hope this old man says something.
Yeah,
this is my last
probably.
I could finally say I punched the guy in the face for yelling at me, but no, I do get the distinct pleasure of introducing our guests from the Ultimate Sacrafice Foundation, and they're gonna get into all of that. And actually, they got something going on with Ukraine and all that good stuff. Because those of you finger warriors that don't understand what it is Veteran Trash Talk and Gruntworks does, all right, we are trying to uplift and build anybody around us that we possibly can. And you know how much we charge for our 20 million reach? Fucking zero. Okay, so again, we want to, if the Ultimate Sacrafice Foundation gets one donor today that helps one person, then everything Buddy and I just rambled about that makes no difference in your life was fucking worth it. Okay. So again, we have chosen the way like Joe said, we have chosen the way that we fight. We have chosen our mission, and we've chosen how we want to attack it. Now, is that the only way to attack this mission? Absolutely not. Which is why we have this great organization on our show, because they are attacking it a different way. All right, same end state, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less in some cases, but like, it's what we do. We find out who they are. You can watch them, because everybody wants to say that nonprofits, there's like 44,000 of them, right? Military nonprofits, and which ones suck, which ones are good. Watch the show. You can meet the guys, right? And then you can, put your stake in the game if you want. And like our claim to fame is that Iron Freedom Foundation, right? He got a significant donation from one of our viewers, and we appreciate that, because that viewer was like, man, he lets you keep all the equipment. Like that's what sold that donator, was like, they get to keep everything, and all of a sudden, boom, here, buy them all this shit, right? So it's like, that's what we do. That's what, who knows? Maybe that guy now buys 50, 60 veterans something to do, teaches them a hobby. Right. And now they get to keep the stuff that they just learned, and maybe they don't kill themselves. Right. Or maybe they do. And then, we lose another one. That's something we can't control that. All right. But we can do our best to help. So with us today is Colin and Mike. They are the founders of the Ultimate Sacrafice Foundation. And I've been following them a little bit on Facebook for a while, because we book out so fast. We got to, kind of get to see them, what they're doing, before we brought them on the show. Now, the only bad thing that I was able to dig up on, a couple of these guys, because we got to be transparent and people are donating.
It's coming, Mike.
Yeah, they weren't in the 82nd.
Nah. Oh man, I'm fucking sorry.
And again, I'm glad
cut the show, man. Cut the show. Cut the show.
I'm glad you at least were airborne, but
excuse me for the second there. I thought you said they
when Gaddafi got taken out, it almost happened. I was in a war room for it. I can't tell too many details about it, because there is still some classified stuff in it. But bottom line is we were about to go to Italy, the 82nd, and because we didn't have our RFI draw, because we weren't on a cycle, right? We were going to take the RFI from soldiers in Italy. Like that would have been the biggest go fuck yourself.
That's ridiculous.
I know you guys are ready to go, but I need you to give those guys your plate carriers. Like, but no, so don't hold it against them. They were in the redheaded stepchild of the airborne, but at least they were airborne. I don't think people even know there's an airborne unit in Alaska, so we won't even talk about them. But hey guys, welcome to the show. and tell us, what you guys are about, your service, what got you started, and then the floor is yours, man. Sell it.
Awesome. No, thanks for having us. I mean, this is awesome. We've been following you guys for a while. And then when Colin finally touched base with you and landed the show, I was super pumped. Let's backtrack a little bit, because leading up to our inception, Afghanistan obviously was the catalyst to all of this, and the 13 service members being killed in action at the Abbey Gate, and then the 18 that were critically wounded as well. But backtracking, I joined towards the end of 2007. I was in the 173rd and the 10th Mountain. I got out in 2016. And when I got out, I mean, I was kind of like every other vet. I didn't want to live into the PTSD mantra. I was an infantry dude. I saw combat, obviously, just like all of you. Deployed multiple times to Afghanistan, as did Colin, and I deployed with him in the 10th Mountain for our last deployment. But we got out, and I wanted to be hard charging. I didn't want to fall into the mantra. I didn't want to fall into any of that crap. So I ended up going to business school, get my MBA. I did a couple bodybuilding shows, anything that would fill my time, and just kind of always guard my mind with something, always have something to do, have a goal nonstop. So I did that for a long time. I did that for multiple years, 3 or 4 years. I've been out for about 6 years now. And eventually it catches up. It catches up to every single veteran. And, I think one of the hardest parts, when you come back from deployment and you have to sit in those little rooms with like grandma and grandpa, and they ask you, did you see combat? Are you okay? And everyone just lies to them. They're like, no, we're totally fine. I forget what it's called. There's an acronym for it. But
SRP.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it Anyway, it's that, whatever Colin said. And you always lie.
I don't drink anything.
Get out. What's up?
They ask you, do you drink? Never.
No, never.
I don't
do anything.
Because then you
Everybody
work out
knows.
and learn tactics.
Yeah, everybody knows it's not never. It's always, 2 or 3, maybe.
A month. 2 or 3 a month.
Every month or 2.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Right.
I pose as Mormon in every interview, so I don't have to be asked those questions again.
I love it.
Mormon.
But anyway, you're reintegrate back. And for years, you're totally fine. But an interesting thing that happens to us when we get back is everyone's spread out. I mean, you kind of lose touch with dudes. And you stay in touch with the people you want to, I'll put it that way. But you lose touch with a bunch of people from your platoon, from your squad, from your company, whatever. And everyone's disbanded, and that communal sense of environment is kind of taken away and ripped away from you. Now, I moved back right outside New York City. So New York City is vastly different than a place like Texas or a place like Montana, so on and so forth. On the political spectrum, and what's up?
Two are states, one's a city.
Yeah, but I don't live in New York City. I live on the outskirts.
Okay.
You know what I mean, though. New York is vastly different in totality.
I just don't want the crowd to start getting mad at you until they start donating.
Right,
New
like
York.
what the fuck?
So,
No. But listen, you get my mantra. So you're around a different crowd in New York, and especially around the city. Everyone's kind of on top of each other. It's the most densely populated area in the country. So you really never get to catch your breath. So after about 3 or 4 years, it started catching up with me. Things, that I've never talked about, and everyone goes through it. You go to the psych in the VA, and then they say, I think you have PTSD or X, Y, and Z. And you automatically don't want to fall into that mantra. So I tried my best to not do so. And then Afghanistan happened, fast forwarding a couple of years to now. And when Afghanistan happened, I mean, I think all of us who were very like-minded people, we all thought the same thing. It was an absolute atrocity, and it was a debacle. With that said, I was contacted maybe 2 weeks prior to any of this happening, the Abbey Gate incident, by Fox News. And a contact I know at Fox News wanted me to hop on for the 20th anniversary of 9/11 and kind of represent the combat community for Afghanistan in particular. So I was like, absolutely. I grew up watching 9/11 happen. I was a junior in high school, and we have a place in Ridgewood, New Jersey called The Crest, and it overlooks the city. It's about 18 miles from the center of Manhattan. And I remember watching the second plane hit the tower. And I said this on the news. I watched it hit the tower. We watched the tower fall. And then we were like, what the fuck are we going to do? But then I do remember, just like everyone always says, September 12th, national unity in the United States. And that felt really good. And then answering the call and actually going and doing something about it, joining the military, having the honor and privilege of being in the 173rd, regardless of what you say about it.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, okay. It was amazing. It was definitely amazing.
Yeah.
And then the 10th Mount was a great unit too. But with that said, I get on Fox News and I have this playbook, I want to call it, that's like 5 pages long. I'm like, this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to do. As soon as the camera turns on, and let me put it into context too after this. As soon as the camera turns on, you have no fucking clue what you're going to say.
Blacked out.
They just ask you questions that they want to hear. And that's every news network, but it's what happens. You go into tunnel vision mode and either you prevail or you don't. But basically when the camera turned on, it was right after they were showing one of the planes went down in Shanksville, PA, and they were interviewing the mom and the son of their father essentially was killed in this plane on 9/11, and they were in tears. And all of a sudden, after that interview, and I was like, fuck, I was getting choked up just watching this interview on live TV. They panned the camera and they're like, now we have Mike. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I got to get myself together and then get on national news. But the interview started. We did the news segment. It was about 9 minutes long. When that was complete, I felt like literally, as corny as it sounds or it was, I had to tell America how it is. They've been sheltered for 2 decades, actually what's happening in Iraq and Afghanistan. And they need to know the truth because Americans haven't known the truth in 2 decades. And so I tried to prevail that. I tried to portray that rather. I tried to get that out. And I did want to honor the 13 that were killed and the 18 that were wounded. And it is important with the 18 because people always forget that there are 18 service members who are really fucking critically wounded right now. One dude that I keep watching on Instagram and Facebook doesn't have an arm on the right side, doesn't have a leg on the left side, or vice versa. I forget which one. I mean, that shit is for any of us to see, but just to see when you're out on a TV, the atrocity happen like that was tormenting my soul, literally. I remember being up on my couch for like 4 or 5 nights, and my wife is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I had like 30 minutes of sleep a night. I looked like a crack addict. I just couldn't process it all. I couldn't rationalize anything that was happening. So when the interview was over, I kind of went back to, I own 2 gyms in Westchester County in New York. And I went back to one of them and I sat and I just stared at the wall for like 10 minutes. And I was like, I have no idea what to do now. I don't know what's going to come. I hope that reached enough people and it resonated because I looked at it like I'm speaking for all of us right now. You know, and I need to get that across. So hopefully that resonated to everyone. And then the text messages, the emails, the people that started walking in and heard it. And then Gold Star families were reaching out from across the world. And I was like, thank God that resonated. I had one girl, and if she ever listens to this, I don't remember who it was, but I'll never forget this. I had one girl who emailed me that her brother killed himself. He was a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan, I forget. Killed himself 2 days prior. And she was like, I wish he could have heard that. And I was like, so do I. I didn't even know how to respond to her. I just was like, you know what? So do I. And so from that moment forward, you know, I reached out to Colin and a couple other of my buddies. Actually, one of our buddies who's in a special forces group too, who I spoke with right after that, who's part of the foundation. And we kind of came up with the philosophy, listen, we don't know what has to be done, but we have to do something. And then things started popping into my head. Like number one was we need to have some type of reunions that are on an annual basis. So the platoon that you guys were in, or the company or the battalion that you were in the 82nd, we need to get that battalion on an annual recurring basis, a reunion somewhere. Doesn't matter, Lake Tahoe, let's say.
Yep.
We're doing that.
That's active and veterans, by the way.
Go ahead. What's up?
I'm saying we're focused on active and veterans. So the philosophy is community healing, right? So what and why do folks kill themselves? You become listless and you lose a sense of purpose. But if you can bring community members past and present together again, you network, you're reminded of the good old days. You say, hey, that he got out. He's a success story. I want to be like that guy. Hey man,
bring that brotherhood and sisterhood together. Yeah,
that's exactly right. So that's the entire intent. We call it community healing, and just with the insight is reinstilling that sense of purpose that we all kind of lost when we transitioned. And I'll turn it back over to you, Mike. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, that was perfect, man. I appreciate that. So the next kind of realm that we were jumping into was community events, and those it could be anything from a billiards tournament to a golf outing to
Wait. A what?
Yeah.
A billiards tournament?
A billiards event.
So not a notice he didn't say pool.
Alabama, we just
he didn't say pool, did he?
This is an inside joke. I don't know if you watched that fight show.
Is it pool in Alabama, buddy?
Yeah, we play pool in Alabama.
It's a little
we got the stick and this ball, and we just push it around.
Just saying, our producer, we couldn't go live last week because he was in a pool tournament.
Said pool.
What is that?
And so we think that he was out there doggy paddling with floaties, and he's denying it. But we want to know why he doesn't say billiards.
Yeah. But yeah, I know that was exactly what you were getting at, Mike. But
is it hard to play billiards?
You're welcome for that. You're welcome for that.
Drinking your tea.
That's what you do. I drink chocolate martinis and rock billiards all night.
Sexy.
With my new haircut.
Yeah,
guys, watch out. Mike here's a billiard shark.
Yeah,
I am.
No, he's from a cold state. I keep trying to warn you guys. You never play any indoor activity against somebody from the Midwest. They will beat you. Okay, because they're inside 6 months out of the year. It's like
this is true. This is true.
Or ping pong against
you just science, Colin. Just
because
science. Yep.
To a range event, a gun range event, that may be, do you call it that? Or whatever type of fancy word we got. To any
gun range event.
Community events are pretty simple. We'll dig into exactly what type of events we're going to be doing with a lot of the large scale events that we have coming up. And I want Colin to touch on some of them too. But also the last one was health and wellness, and not only physical and mental health, but also spiritual health. You know, there's a lot of guys that obviously are into working out. We want to provide live fitness programming and have one-on-one trainers for a lot of these for a lot of these vets, a lot of these Gold Star family members, even service members. We get it. We've been there. We've done it. We want to help provide that to our service members as well. Mental health. At the end of the Warrior Ride, we're going to touch on exactly what we're thinking of doing for mental health, or what we are going to be doing for it. And then spiritual health are things like Reiki, and things along that realm. I don't know if you guys have ever done that with the kind of like the chakra style.
My kids do my raking for me.
Nice.
No, elaborate on that. Elaborate on that a little bit.
Different kind of raking.
Yeah. Last time I Reiki, I went to jail. But go ahead. Yeah.
So Reiki experts have like 6 or 7 chakras. I don't want to be wrong on this, but I know a couple of people that do it. And I actually went through a session where you could go to a Reiki expert for a multitude of reasons. I went for just different pain points, and it's supposed to, quote unquote, release those pain points, so to speak. But a lot of these people that are Reiki experts, like some of them are mediums, some of them aren't. There's all different realms of Reiki. So that's kind of a realm, so to speak, that we're slowly tiptoeing into, but I think it could drastically help veterans stay away from the VA hospitals with all their psych and all the pills they're trying to chuck at them. I'm not saying stay away permanently. I'm just saying that you don't want to get in the habit of popping these freaking pills left and right. What are you going to do when you're 80 or 90 years old?
Mike,
you know, I'm not
to interrupt you.
No, you're 100% trying to interrupt him.
Yeah.
You literally just did.
With all due
Literally
respect. With all due respect.
That's better. With all due respect, shut up for a second.
We talked about that a couple times on the show, and you know, first of all, what you're talking about with like Reiki, the spirituality, all of the different genres of really your own mental and physical treatment. There's no wrong way. Well, there's a wrong way. Killing yourself is the wrong way, but
right.
There's no wrong way if it's helping you move in a positive direction to move in that positive direction. Because, you know, one of your buddies is trying Reiki, and another one of your buddies is smoking weed, and another one of your buddies is going to a gym. To be any of those three that are looking down or talking about somebody else's journey, if you will, and try to, you know, throw shade or whatever the kids are saying these days towards that journey and bring them down. That's you know, that's not what any of us should be about. And there should be no realm or no treatment that we look at and go, well, that's not what I'm down with. Well, then don't. And then as far as like the VA and the pills, you know, we've said it on here a bunch of times too. The VA is not really the enemy. They're just, they've got so many people they have to treat that they're trying to treat them. that being said,
it's not their it's their policies.
Right. But here's
to attack the pharmaceutical industries, that are pushing it.
You can attack the administration, but not the people working there. They're doing what they're allowed to do.
Right.
Exactly.
It's also a federal administration. What's the government good at?
Correct.
You have to be an advocate for your own treatment and your own, like, hey, I'm not going to take those pills. Don't give me medicine. I'm not going to take them. You're just wasting your money.
Yep.
I
100%.
feel better doing this. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're spot on. But the big thing is that we have to get through this. Everybody owes us because we're veterans and we should just show up and they take care of us.
Right.
You have to be an advocate for your own treatment and your own journey. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to pack your bags for you. You got to pack your own bags.
And what you guys are doing, if I understand
too,
this right, Mike, if I understand this right, what you guys are doing with what Buddy's saying is you're providing the space for people to come find out and reconnect and, the activities to, so like, hey, what have you been doing the last 10 years? Like,
right. So that's our reunion program.
Yeah.
But
there's a couple different.
Can you guys hit on some of the programs? Yeah, hit on some of the programs and some of the events you've done.
Hang on, Colin. Just to elaborate real quick on what Buddy was saying. Dude, when I went to the VA last time, I said I refuse to take these pills. I want something else natural, or else I'm just not going to come anymore. It just didn't work for me. And so they provided meditation, or they prescribed it for me. So I haven't been to a class yet because they just did it, but that is something that they offer. And there's a lot of different programs they offer, and the VA is not everyone's worst enemy. There actually is some really phenomenal people that work there. There's absolutely no doubt. To touch on some of the programs, Colin, I'm going to let you, I know you want to talk, dude. So I'm going to let you take it away, and then I'll just interject whenever, because there's a lot of stuff coming up on our radar.
Yeah. So just as far as like individual services, it's not like you guys were saying, everyone has their own path. So what we're trying to do is there's multiple lines of effort here with all aimed at achieving the same end state, which is to mitigate suicide rates within the military communities. And obviously we have a physical training aspect to we're offering guys. You can come on the website, you log in, there's personalized fitness plans on there. Because we're trying to cater to veterans, service members, and Gold Star families, we're going to have things like Ranger School prep, selection prep for dudes that are service members, if they want to go through that kind of stuff.
We got to get you guys connected with some of the guys we've had on the show that do that as well.
Yeah, like Shane Waterman.
Yeah. He
does.
I'll tell you
this,
dude.
Nice. That's
he does. He provides. That's what he does. That's his program. He provides workouts and
tag him on the chat
and stuff. Yeah, I'll tag him on the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's fucking. I mean, and thank God. So Mike got out a couple years before me, and he was doing his gym program. I went to selection. I hit up Mike. I was like, dude, write me a program. He's like, got you, man. And his program sucked balls, but it made selection.
That's why you didn't get selected, right?
I got picked up. But hey,
way to go, Mike. But fuck your buddy.
So way to go, Mike.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But so that was
not my fault.
So I mean that's one, for lack of better words, we'll call it medium, right? Mike touched on like the Reiki stuff. We're just opening the door for folks to step through to explore a different process. Yeah, you can go crush yourself in the gym. That's how I do it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I stay sane. I also I talk to a
CrossFit gym.
No, man. Yeah,
your arms look
I
like
can
you
barely
do CrossFit.
Was that?
Sorry.
CrossFit arms.
Well, fuck. I'm out, dude. That was the worst.
You can do a bustle up. 120 pounds of you.
Everybody knows that Colin's not into CrossFit because we wouldn't even be talking about his
right. We already would have heard it.
We'd be talking about CrossFit.
Our only service would have been Here's the WOD of the day, guys. Come do our WOD.
Yeah, we're gonna do the city today.
And the cool thing is like our mission statement is broad enough that we can continue to add services as we grow. And so what we're doing right now, we have the physical aspect. Come crush yourself. You know what I'm saying? Find a purpose in the gym. Get yourself physically healthy. We're looking at some of the spiritual stuff with the Reiki. We're also looking at bringing in at some point, almost, I don't want to say referral service, but like a service or a portal which has information regarding folks that you can go talk to, right? If you want to get help with the mental piece. And as we continue to grow as an organization, services will continue to be added that actually help us achieve our end state. So, I mean, right now, the sky's the limit, and it's almost getting to the point where we have so much shit going on. We got to fucking expand.
We've planned a lot.
I got to do this fucking full time, you know, like, so we're heading in the right direction, man.
But you know what?
Go ahead, Mike.
It's a passion. We finally found something we're passionate about. We didn't know that life was going to turn in a full circle and come
You're not
back
married,
around.
are you?
And that,
Not anymore.
what's up?
Are you married?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then you've this is the second thing.
The second thing you're passionate about.
My bad.
He's not gonna be married too much
So listen,
longer. After that one.
longer. Oh, really?
You get out, you have
Four
this mundane
successful ones.
lifestyle. Regardless of what you do, like nothing really amps your testosterone, so to speak, or gets your adrenaline pumping. Obviously, we're not in the military anymore, so we can't go kill the bad guys. Like that's just not going to happen.
Chicago.
Unless we do it secretly, which we're not really going to touch on. But with that said, like
Another whole
this
program.
is
SWAT's about to kick in our doors.
this is something that we finally are at the kind of like mental acuity in the nonprofit world, to a micro level. But we finally have like an amplified passion project that it's like, listen, we do want to now reach out and help as many people as we can. And these community events, you know, we have a lot. You can go on our website, you can check out all the events we've done. We did disaster relief in Kentucky. We helped a crap load of families.
Nice.
Crap load of service. Actually,
Yeah, we shared that. That was the
too.
first thing that we shared on the page with that. Yeah.
Yep. That's actually kind of a cool story, Mike, if you don't mind, dude. So
yeah, go ahead, dude.
So Mike
I mean,
and I,
weren't you? No, you weren't a Marine, right? Somebody said
He
you
was
were
an
a Marine.
officer. That's why he says
Oh,
things
yeah.
like lines of
Okay.
effort.
Yeah, we don't talk
I was
about
gonna say
it.
because I thought he was a Marine. I wouldn't
He's
be so
lucky
cool,
we
but-
allowed him in.
Somebody's got to do a little spell.
it's with the people. I do all the fucking writing because these retards can't. But,
now we know he was lying about CrossFit.
Yeah, exactly. I did 600 burpees today. Why?
I dabbled at one point.
You dabbled. Yeah.
I dabbled. But you know, I almost said glide path, but I was like, fuck, they're gonna give me shit.
Yeah.
But
Glide path, get it there.
But so
give us that
we had a fucking plan, right? So we actually launched on December 18th at Ground Zero up in New York City. It was fucking cool. We were there at the horse soldier statue. That was the plan. However, you guys are aware of, you know, what happened in Kentucky and a lot of the Southeast. The tornadoes tore through literally a week before, but we hadn't launched yet. No one knew who we were. We didn't have any social media up. But you know, Mike and I were like, fuck, dude, we got to do something. So grassroots style, man, just started hammering social media. We raised thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
That's what's up, man.
I hit the American Red Cross up. We worked by with and through the American Red Cross to pull in names of service members and veterans that were affected. And we just went and we wrote them fucking checks. Here's $5,000 to cover closing costs at your new house.
I had a cousin there. I didn't get anything.
You didn't get nothing?
You didn't get anything?
Bro?
No.
I'll
send you my address after the show.
We'll send him a t-shirt.
We got you. But you know what?
Give it to Ukraine.
I want to fast forward to the Warrior Ride because this is the big piece of the puzzle that's coming up for us. And Colin, I want you to take that away. Now, the Warrior Ride was kind of ensconced around this one place, Andar. So on my last appointment with the 10th Mountain, I deployed with Colin. Unfortunately, he was a platoon leader at the time. But that's neither here nor there.
Got to start somewhere.
So
I know. Fuck me.
So anyway, I was only we were going into Andar because we were leaving there to leave Afghanistan. Essentially, we were going to Bagram and flying out. But I was there for like one night, and then this incident happened that I just so happened to see at the time, even though I really didn't know the guy that it happened to that well. I just so happened to be there. But the Warrior Ride is all about this. And at the end of it, Colin's going to explain it, but at the end of the Warrior Ride, we want to tie in this piece of suicide awareness and PTSD and mental health awareness. And we want to send either a service member, a veteran, or a Gold Star family member, or one of their close relatives to either a mental health or a drug and alcohol addiction clinic, inpatient, outpatient, to get them the help that they need, because there's too much talk and there needs to be action. So we want to make this happen. But Colin, I'm going to let you take away the Warrior Ride. It's the next piece of the puzzle that's coming up.
You mean just doing 22 push-ups online isn't going to cut it? You know?
And change your profile picture. But hey, no, so
and nothing against people who do 22
before
push-ups.
you explain to this, so when somebody just comes on and starts listening, how do they donate to what you're talking about? How do they get a hold of you guys? Throw those plugs out there real quick before you start.
Absolutely. I got you. So you can go to ultimatesacrificefoundation.org, and we have our donate now tab that links you directly to our donor box page where you can donate to our foundation. 100% of the proceeds are going to everything that we do at this moment. We're not necessarily full-time. We're not taking any cut of the pie for anything that we're doing right now. We all have full-time jobs. We truly want to help the community. That's how you can do it the easiest way. If you want to go to Facebook, you can go to Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation. Find us on Facebook or Instagram. Same thing, Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation. We have everything linked back to our webpage where you can donate. And please purchase one of those new shirts that we just came out with.
Hell yeah.
You can go to the Ukraine.
Yeah,
it does
go to. If you can show me that it goes to the Ukraine. All right.
We're going to send it directly to Kiev.
See, and that being said,
Right
too,
to the center.
you brought up a good point, because my father, actually, one of his critiques of our show last year when we started was talking about, he's like, don't talk so much about money, and about like that, and it kind of made sense, but just to hammer it home to people, if you want guys to spend 60 to 100 hours a week to help people, can they eat?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right.
Can
Overhead,
they
right.
travel to go do it? Is that okay? Like, or do we have to give it all to the Ukraine? Okay, so
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, obviously there's operating costs to running any business.
Like, fuck, man.
That's neither here nor there. So when people say all the proceeds are going to X, Y, and Z, well, it's like what Colin's going to explain on the Warrior Ride. If I have to fly him, myself, Gold Star families out to anywhere that we're going to run an event along the way, well, that's an operating expense. So obviously those are going to arise. But as far as taking a $5 million salary, like that's not happening.
Yeah.
So
Right,
that's
until you start making,
None of us
let's say
are
you blow
driving
up
around
and
in
you get
Lamborghini.
500 million in
Yeah.
donations. Like, it takes it's
Yeah.
gonna take a lot of work to manage that shit.
Colin, talk
Of course
about
it
the
is.
event a little bit, and then talk about what your largest event has been. And then for
Okay.
people that want to sign up, like let's say all of us want to get the 82nd together as a battalion.
Oh,
How
yeah.
do we proceed? Or somebody that's watching,
That's a
they want to
division,
get their
Dave.
old company, 82nd
Yeah.
division. We get the whole division together, Nick. No, I doubt you guys do division level
Dream
stuff
big.
yet. Well, maybe you do.
Oh, not
but-
yet.
No, I think we're gonna
Hit on that,
I think we're gonna
Colin.
focus
Division
on
does
the
get
battalion
together
level.
every year. They call it All
That is
American
true.
Week.
Yes, but maybe we could use them or something,
We have so much
Well,
shit coming on,
we'll
guys. that
we'll
it's-
get
it's
to
hard
what
for
we're
me.
doing with 187, but Colin,
Yeah,
let's touch
yeah.
on the Warrior Ride to start, brother.
All right, so just some historical context, because like Mike said, I think this is 2012, 2013. We were in Afghanistan with 10th Mountain, Fob Andar in Ghazni province. There was an incident on the Fob that caused an explosion with our fuel blivets, a giant fucking black rubber balls of fuel, right? For those that don't know. And that explosion caused secondary explosions. So all of our fuel went up. We had, I was sitting in the talk. I was writing a fucking NCOER because I was an officer.
So you were in
right?
charge when this happened.
Yeah, I was a platoon leader. Yeah.
Okay.
On the yeah. So we were there. We had 2 platoons. And then we had an Afghan Kandak, so about 125 dudes, like an Afghan company size element. And there was an ODA there. So the explosion went off. We didn't know what happened yet. I leave the talk. We go running towards the incident. 3 of my guys, I'm sorry, we're in a guard tower that was directly adjacent to where the explosion happened. So I come around the corner, around what do you fucking call it? What are the barriers that we fill with rocks?
Esco barriers.
Esco.
Yeah.
Right. So I come around a Hesco barrier and I see, I didn't know who it was at the time, but I see one of our soldiers crawling on the ground, like totally engulfed in flames. And then in an instant, I see my 3 guys, Archie Arcentalis, Sergeant Arcentalis, Sergeant Caleb Walters, and a Private First Class Kyle BA. They run to him. Archie gets to him first. Archie lays on top of this guy and starts putting him out with his body. Kyle and Sergeant and Caleb are there next, and they start essentially smothering the flames with their own bodies. They pick him up. They start moving him away from the heat. Man, I was 100 meters away and it was melting my eyebrows. It was the most insane shit. I was on the radio. I was trying to get a 9-line going, so we get a bird in, and I literally watched as they were carrying him, like the bottom of his boot melt off, man. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. But these three guys, these three fucking heroes, fought like lions, literally walked into hell in the fire and pulled this guy out. They got him to safety. We got him on a bird. We got word a few days later that he expired and launched just from inhalation. He had 99.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
Sergeant Mad Dog Maddox. But he had 3rd-degree burns in 99.9% of his body. And that incident, that's just historical context for the Warrior Ride. So that occurred. We finished up the deployment. We did our ramp ceremonies. We did good things for America. We came back home, and life went on. Fast forward 10 years, here we are. And Kyle B.A., one of the guys that was involved in the situation that helped try to rescue Sergeant Maddox, he's reached out to me in July of 2020. And just for some additional context, Kyle was going through a rough patch. He was dealing with all the things that we're trying to mitigate with our foundation: PTSD, suicidal ideation. He was listless. He was living in the woods behind a Kohl's up in New Hampshire, couldn't get a grip on it, was having some issues. He decided to go on, his own journey. We talked about everyone taking their own journeys, right? He decided, he went to a fucking garage sale and just bought a bike. Said, hey, I'm riding from New Hampshire to Beaumont, Texas, to the gravesite of Sergeant Maddox, the guy that was killed. He's like, I'm just gonna ride. It's like Forrest Gump style. Like, I'm just gonna fucking go. I didn't know he was doing this. And then he starts getting close to Kentucky and he calls me. He's like, hey, what's up, sir? I'm like, dude, don't fucking call me, sir. I'm out. Let's not do that. And he's like, all right, well, here's what I'm doing. And I was like, dude, that is more than fucking awesome. So we start, sharing his stuff on social media. People were following the journey. He comes through Kentucky where I'm at now. I give him a new bike, send him on his way. He finishes the ride. It was really, really cool. And it was good for Kyle because it gave Kyle that sense of purpose that he had lost, right? It was a healing journey for him, kind of coming out of an incident that he never really walked away from. That fast forward another year and we were like, dude, let's do it again, but let's do it like fucking really big. He's like, and Kyle is a hard charger. I like to explain him as, yeah, dude, he is a hippie warrior. He's totally cool with like sleeping in the woods and just like smoking a little weed and like hanging out and like being a cool dude. But then if you're like, hey, dude, I want you to ride 3,300 miles to raise awareness regarding. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, sign me up. So
let's do it.
Yeah. So that's what birthed the Ultimate Sacrifice Warrior Ride. So what's going to happen is on April 29th, it's a Friday, Boston, Massachusetts, is going to be the start point. Kyle, we're going to load them up with all kinds of gear. We have sponsors, which I should probably give a shout out to, Fire Department Coffee. They're sponsoring the event. Yeah. It's a really cool coffee. It's sort of in the same vein as Black Rifle Coffee, but they focus for first responders and emergency personnel.
Get them in contact with us if they want to come on the show and promote it.
I will. Yep. That'd be absolutely, yeah, for sure, man. Their founder's a Navy vet too, so all good.
Nice. Never mind.
But,
we'll bring those seamen on.
We made exceptions for the 173rd, but like,
all right, he's in the 82nd.
Yeah, for sure.
He was EOD for the 82nd.
100%. But Kyle, dude, on the 29th, he's just gonna start pedaling, man. And final destination is Coronado, California, 3,300 miles. We're looking at doing it in probably around between 62 and 72 days, weather and like injury, permitting.
Damn.
But
now he's doing this by himself.
By his fucking self, dude. Okay. I mean, we're pivoting him out. We get GPS, Garmin.
Got everything. But anyone listening too, if you guys are along our route, I mean,
that's what I was going to ask. How can people support him along?
We'll release the route.
People meet up and ride with him for like 100 miles, 200 miles.
Yeah.
Chill.
So
make sure you guys hit us up with that route.
Yes.
And we'll update it daily. Like whatever you guys want.
I want to follow this journey on VTT. And then what can we do at the routes? Can we provide food? Can we assist?
Can we sponsor it?
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm trying to get. So
I'm getting there, guys. Right? Shut up.
I'm getting there. Sorry.
Shut the fuck up. I'm an officer.
Let me brief. All right.
Yeah. You just take notes.
Who's everybody to listen? Shut the fuck up.
Point, sir.
It would fucking behoove you to everyone pull out pen and paper.
Carry on, sir. Carry on.
Yeah, roger that.
I'm gonna say it twice because it's important.
Foot stomp. But So one of the cool things, I'll get to how everyone can support and how we're in legs of the journey here in a second, but there's actually, where Sergeant Maddox, the soldier that was killed, he's from Bloomington, Illinois, right? There's a stretch of highway in Bloomington, Illinois that was actually named after him. It's like a 3 or 4 mile stretch. I've altered Kyle's route to make sure that he goes down that stretch of highway. And while he's on that stretch of highway, we've coordinated with local fire departments, local police departments. They're gonna give him like an escort of honor on that route.
That's so
Sergeant Maddox's family, the guy that was killed, his family's gonna be there on the highway with us. And after he comes through that route, we're gonna go to the local VFW, which helps name the highway in his honor, and we're gonna host an event. But as far as supporting the ride, what we're gonna do is I'm you know, it's hard to 3,300 miles, right? It's more like a movement corridor versus like you're gonna turn left on Route 7 and you're gonna turn left on Acre Street. Like I can't fucking do that. But what I can do is I can give daytime groups, states, and like, you know, swaths of where he's going to be coming through. And we're going to.
You were a lieutenant, so like, I hopefully you're not planning the route. We know everything about lost LTs, right? So
bro, we don't allow that, dude.
Okay. End up in Coronado, Canada, trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
I don't think the Coronado's made it to Canada.
East. Just pedal west as hard as you can. But so we'll publish that route, and essentially what he's going to do is he's going to publish his progress via social media every day. People will know, you know, between this date and this date, he's going to be, you know, crossing through northern Illinois, kind of deal. What can you do to sponsor the ride? One, you can go to our donation page, ultimatesacrifice.org. You can donate directly to the ride.
UltimateSacrificeFoundation.org.
Yep, and what the proceeds of the rides are going to, one, go to getting Kyle from A to B. You know, there's maintenance on the bike, there's food. Every couple of days, we're going to put him up in the hotel and give him a shower. He is a savage.
Hey, sir.
Go for it.
One thing.
Hey, sir.
Did you say fucking sir?
Hey, sir. Listen up.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's a Green Beret calling you,
if
sir.
you guys can figure out where he's going to be 2 or 3 days in advance, like a specific route that he's going to be 2 or 3 days in advance, and you have the ability to have other veterans along that route donate a room or a place for him to stay and a hot meal for the night, that'd be awesome for people to be able to, I mean, of course,
if they just want to pull over and support him, you know, while he drives.
It's great. You know what I mean? But
it's a great idea though. Yeah, don't throw food at him. Okay, just
don't throw anything at him. Just
real quick, Keith in the chat also
riding a bike.
Real quick, Keith in the chat also confirms the only thing more dangerous than a butter bar is one with a map. So you know, just go ahead, sir. Just
all right, Keith. Thanks,
Keith,
bro.
Go ahead, Colin. Go ahead. This is awesome, man. I
had a colonel one time tell me to stop whining about lieutenants, and he goes, look, he's like, I'm not gonna make general. He's like, but just so you know, the only thing that we're looking for out of these lieutenants is like 6 generals out of that class. And he's like, so we don't give 2 flying fucks if they
out of the class of how many? Out of the class of how many?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
you know what
stop
I'm saying?
whining about it. It's not going to change.
Just to the room and to all the listeners out there, I'm just going to pose this: if your lieutenant's fucked up, you're fucked up. It's your job to develop, mentor, and coach.
No, it's not. We don't get paid that kind of money.
I was actually just about to say, bad captains are made by bad sergeant first classes.
Yes. Sergeant first class gets paid enough money to mentor a lieutenant, but the rest, no.
Luckily, I had good NCOs. I had Mike Duty, I had sergeant first class Larson, I had sergeant first class Luce. They squared me the fuck away. I did all right. But let's focus on the mission here, guys.
Look at him blushing.
God damn it. But so
welcome to the dumpster fire.
Dude, I love it. Warming my feet. But the entire event, right? So proceeds are going to go towards actually getting Kyle from A to B. 3,300 miles. That's a hell of a ride. So he's going to hit Bloomington, Illinois. I have a buddy Ranger School buddy who owns a bike shop in a place called Golden, Colorado. They're going to totally refit them. New bike, maintenance. I think it's outside Denver, but they're going to square them away.
I do believe that's where they make the banquet beer.
Well, maybe we should do an event there and go find out.
Hey, you gotta look up 10th Mount. Right. Hey, look up 10th Mount whiskey.
I do believe they make
they're
Coors.
in Colorado.
Are they really?
They're in Colorado. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. Look up Ryan at 10th Mountain Whiskey. Just tell him that VTT sent you. And he's an awesome guy, and he will definitely be a part of that.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
And so Copper Sky Distillery, that guy, he's a veteran too in Colorado. All of them guys. Yeah. Hey, you guys are watching. I know those guys are watching.
Yeah, we gotta after the show. We gotta give you guys.
We gotta create a list of people that we know in that area.
That'd be absolutely amazing.
Thanks, guys.
And then while Kyle's doing his ride though, what he's gonna do little GoPro videos. You know what he's thinking about, because this is all for. He's personally attached to this. This incident that led to all of this.
Well, it's personal.
Right. So he's dealt with PTSD for years. He's dealt with suicidal ideations, but now he's found his purpose. And the entire point of this is to help veterans find their purpose. But hey, dude, maybe your answer is not riding 3,300 fucking miles coast to coast, but maybe it's making birdhouses. I don't know. I don't care what it is.
That's what Joe does.
I think the best statement to make by that is
Joe's lost
almost nobody's answer is going to be to ride.
I think so too. I think you have to be a savage person.
Yeah, it's bad, Joe.
Go, Joe.
How is it now?
Go.
Now it's software.
Yeah. Okay. Unique New York. Go.
Okay. Yeah. How now, brown cow? No, I think the best statement is that no one's going to pick 3,300 miles to ride a bike. That's what works for him. So whatever it is that suits you, go with it. You know, I mean, it's a different, everybody's a fingerprint. It has a different effect. Trauma is the same way, so whatever works for you, pick that and do it.
Yeah, no,
exactly
100%, right. We agree.
Unless it's crack.
Don't do crack.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I'm kidding.
Don't do that. Yeah.
We don't want to get sued for saying, hey, crack makes me happy.
That's like, hey guys,
Buddy looks like a crackhead, but
no, Buddy looks like somebody who sells.
I don't think you've seen crackheads before.
Yeah.
Anywho,
definitely not that
I think another one of the things that you two touched on that kind of personally resonated with me is that you talk about. Yeah.
Ooh, you got touched.
Alabama. Look at you.
Yeah. So you guys were talking about at the beginning of the show, the reunion thing. And I think that it's great that you're talking about having active duty and civil, veteran reunions with battalions, but even on a much smaller, we'll call it a micro level, sir. On a way,
he goes to the Harvard of the Southeast called Austin P. I don't know if you know that.
He is a college. He is a college student right now. So I've been doing this for 4 years now. There's only 5 or 6. Not two. There's only 5 or 6. There's only 5 or 6 of us from this platoon in the 82nd. We get together every year at Labor Day. Every single year we go to a different place. Started in Nashville. We went to Savannah. We did LA. We went to Colorado last year and did Pikes Peak. But every year we meet for Labor Day, and it's just there's 5 or 6 of us. And every year,
Vito, shout out to Vito.
Yeah. Every year we look forward to that trip for 6 or 8 months. We plan it, we talk about it, we figure out what we're going to do. We get down there, and I think that to the every one of them, we've all talked about, like, especially on the first ones, and I haven't gone through it because I'm just now getting out, but all of the ones that had gotten out before talked about feeling like they were on an island. They were by themselves. They couldn't really call back to the guys that were still in the military because they had other things. Their mission was continuing, but they were kind of stuck in a place where people didn't understand them, where they spoke differently. They had different humor, different everything. And then it's crazy when you suggest that to people and they're like, oh, maybe I will. And then you got to talk to them, be like, look, man, it's insane how you cannot see a person for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then the moment you guys start talking again, like you link up, like we linked up in Nashville. The second we all got them picked up from the airport, we started hanging out again. You would think that we had seen each other last weekend or the day before. Everything picks up right where you left off. You're back at home with
people that talk the same language you talk. They have the same experiences, the same verbiage, the same everything. And you just feel like, for lack of a better term, you're in a safe place with people that understand you, that you haven't been for however long it was since you got out. And that one weekend every year, I mean, we talk all the time now where we didn't talk before, but at the same time,
you're connected now.
It sustains you for the next year until you get back together. And the first time we did it, everybody flew in on like a Thursday night, and then we left on Monday morning. And at this point, like, we're like, yeah, a couple of us are going to fly in on Tuesday. We'll hang out for a couple of days, and then we'll fly out on Tuesday. We'll just take some extra time off work. Not a big deal. It's that big a deal that, it doesn't have to be your entire battalion. It doesn't have to be your entire
squad size element.
Our chapter is blowing up right now about how that's what some of their guys do and these guys do. So get with the Ultimate Sacrafice Foundation guys that are on the thread right now. Get with them. So, all right, share your ideas, share your stories. That's
exactly right.
That's the whole thing too, real fast, is that we're here to amplify other veterans, other service members, other Gold Star families. It's not about us, it's about all of you.
It's about everybody. Stop.
So if this is happening, give it to the Ukraine. We'd love to be a part of it, and let us sponsor it. If you guys do it, let us pay for it. You go away, we'll pay for the whole thing.
Yep.
That's it.
To be honest with you, Mike, a lot of it is, the funding for a lot of it is not a huge issue, right?
Sure.
The hardest part about, like, even our trips every year, and we've got a couple guys, we usually do it around somebody's house so that they know, the things to do there or whatever. The hardest part is just planning a thing to do. The first year we just were like, we're just gonna get together and get fucking hammered. You know what I mean? And we did. We had a great time. We went to the lake. We went out to Nashville. We got drunk. But then, the next year we were like, man, we're getting a little old to just be drinking all the time. Let's do something. And that's like last year we climbed Pike Peak. That's a bad idea, by the way.
What do you think about that statement, Nick? No.
just to get to Colorado. And decide
when I get older, the last thing I want to do is climb a mountain.
Yeah.
Well, for everyone listening,
I'll sit around and drink when I'm older.
If you just had like, even just like a part of your site where it just had like, hey, you guys want to take a trip to this place? Here's a sample itinerary of things you could do, and
a list of
contact with.
I like that, buddy.
This is about how much it costs per person. Have at it. Do it.
Yeah.
With it what you will.
That's awesome. Speaking of which, so I own 2 gyms. One of my clients knows a guy who owns 5 campgrounds. So summer campgrounds for kids for summer camp, but he wants to give that land to us, all 5 of them. They're within about 15 minutes of each other in Massachusetts for veteran-run events in the off-season. So if anyone's listening and you like what you're hearing and you have an idea and you're like, oh, my buddies do this all the time, or even if they don't and you want to do it through us, let's use that side as well. Because
we need to definitely talk after the show.
Yeah. The 187 one's going to be down in San Padre Island in Texas, and then we're going to go to 5x5 Brewery.
Wait, you're going to take the Rockasons down there?
No. The 187.
Yeah, this
is the 187.
Yeah, no.
So,
hold on. Go back. What did you say? There's something other than the Rockason?
I was going to say, because if you take them down there, you can't put them near any wall or anything because they'll draw all the fuck over it.
San Padre is gonna have red, weird,
everywhere.
But so I'll use Padre as like a 187 event as just like a case study of what we're trying to do. So it's like it's cool. Obviously, maybe we want to start looking at giving people resources to throw their own little, 5, 6, 7, 8 guy trips together. That's awesome. But so the scope of the events that we want to throw are a little bit bigger because we want to also. We want to incorporate a little bit of that networking in that new sense of purpose. Like, hey, shit, Mike owns this business now. Hey, dude, it's been 10 years. Oh, you want to come work for me? Oh, yeah, let's do that. Oh, hey, you look super jacked. How'd you get, right? So, but down in Padre, what we're going to do is it's like a 3 or 4 day event. Hotel, the block of hotel rooms will be rented out. There's a chartered fishing trip. We're gonna go boar hunting.
Nice.
There's gonna be an event at a local.
Now we're talking.
Right. There's gonna be an event
country event at a local brewery. And all kinds of shit.
Yeah. Country music, right? And we're gonna bring all the boys from 187.
Think about how many javelins you could buy with this money for Ukraine.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
No, the javelins, our t-shirts are gonna.
We're gonna shoot them into the ocean.
Yeah. Maybe one. Maybe
Or a
half
red
of one.
snapper with a javelin.
Yeah. But that's the kind of thing that we want to do. And we want is for other units to reach out and be, hey, I want to do this for 1-503rd or whoever. Like, hey, give me your story, get a group of guys together, make it worth. Obviously the participation level needs to be at a certain point where we can invest so much money into it. I don't want to do all these reservations and down payments, like 8 people show up. That's rough, but
it's also open to Gold Star families.
Hey, I'm going to get to that too.
We got another organization that we partner with, Gold Star Teen Adventures. They'll probably definitely hook up with you guys.
Yeah.
And we're like Mike just said, we're doing the same thing for Gold Star families, and actually the families of the 13 service members that were killed in Afghanistan. We're in contact with them right now. We're going to host an event. They're going to be our first event. So it'll be 13 families first. We're currently working with the McCullums. Their son Riley was a Lance Corporal. He was killed in the bombing. They are working with us to contact all the other families and coordinate this event. And what we're going to do is it'll be the 13. Will be the first one in every year as we grow in scope and capability. We're going to bring more Gold Star families on. So 13, 25, 50, however big we can get it. And hopefully the intent is to get this to a point where you have to do, once a quarter, because we're
this is going to be big. This is going to be big. And you just got one of your biggest supporters. Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do, gentlemen. Yeah.
This is great. And so again, like we always say, like how I introduced you guys with the 44,000 nonprofits, right? Whatever. It's like, here, those of you watching, here you go. And those of you listening on our podcast, because actually we do get a lot more downloads of the podcast and views. But so if you're listening, ultimatesacraficefoundation.org. All right, go there. All right. This is something that, again, why not? And then if you can help them, if you can partner with them, if you can, cooperate together, then do it. So again, we got the 10th Mountain Bourbon. They sponsor us, right? 10th Mountain Whiskey. So I guarantee you, Ryan will be a big piece of that. And then the Gold Star Teen Adventures, they'll definitely, work with you guys as well. Than anybody else we have with that, like the workout plans. We've had 2 guests on here already that do workout plans for veterans for free.
Yeah, I tagged Sean.
Yeah. So and I can't wait. I hope that this really does, expand into something that, goes to the next level. And really glad to have you guys on. So
I can't wait for his ride. We're going to document.
It's going to be gnarly, dude.
And let us know how we can help. We don't have a lot of money yet, but maybe these Ukraine shirts will change that. And, hey guys, go buy the Ukraine shirts, because this is the kind of stuff that we want to spend money on. All right. We don't want to spend money on Ukraine. They have men that fight.
We're going to spend money on us. Yeah.
Joe's gone.
All right.
He'll be back.
He was done. He was like, I'm not talking to you guys anymore. You guys suck. Yeah. So anyways, no.
But the end of the Warrior Ride, because we kind of scampered off into the reunions, which I'm super pumped about too. The end of the Warrior Ride in Coronado, we're going to try and plan an event out there at the finish line, because I want it to be big. I mean, that's an accomplishment that I never did. I never rode 3,300 miles. That's psychotic.
No.
But that's fucking awesome.
And hey, Wave and Neuroscience will sponsor that. Hold on.
Sure.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
And we want to have active people. We want to have vets there. We want to have Gold Star family members. We all want to come together, throw a big event out there in the San Diego area. And then in turn, we want to send, if anyone's listening, you have a family member who is a veteran who currently serves, you're a Gold Star family member. You have someone in your Gold Star family that is suffering from mental health disorders, PTSD. I don't even know if disorders is the right way to say it, but you get what I'm saying. Mental health issues, PTSD, alcoholism, drug issues. Please reach out to us, because we want to help and scholarship those individuals to go to one of these rehab centers that we already have identified. I don't want to release their name yet, that we're going to send them to, pay for the whole thing. We'll scholarship it. We will get them the help that they truly need.
Hell yeah.
All right. That's the most important piece of our mission of this Warrior Ride. We want to amplify Sergeant Maddox and his family. We want to amplify Kyle for doing this, Archie and Caleb for doing this, for being a part of this. And we want to amplify everyone in general, but at the end of this, it's exactly what we want to do. So there's kind of 2 missions set in one encapsulating one.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. So that's coming up soon. It's April 29th. And then the last piece of the pie that we have going on, a bunch of events. We're going to a Turning Point event in South Carolina. We're going to speak at it. We got a billiards event coming up. We have golf outings during the Warrior Ride for fundraising for the Warrior Ride.
Can you explain to everybody what billiards is? Because everybody else knows it as
billiards. So billiards,
British pool.
Is it different?
We got a buddy in the foundation, JC Callahan. I'm going to give him a shout out because he's my boy. He owns a company. Basically, it's like a franchise company called APA, American Pool Players Association. I hope I got that correct. And he is the El Paso chapter. So he lives in El Paso.
I'm in El Paso. Where is this at?
So
I'm trying to connect you with Wave and Neuroscience. Sorry.
He plays a lot of like Clicks Billiards and Detour Bar and like places like that. All his tournaments. So basically,
I'm gonna run this guy down.
He lives in El Paso, brother. Jason Callahan.
I'm gonna go take all his money. Where's he? Hey, where's he at? Yeah, I'm in El Paso.
Dude, yeah,
I'm at the Star Majors Academy.
And ping you.
Yeah,
that's
I'll
awesome,
take all his money.
yeah.
I want to know where he
Dude,
plays.
we're going to be running a billiards event in El Paso very soon. I want to link up.
Yeah, Nick's going to go play billiards.
You guys can stay. Hey, you can stay at my house. You're good. There goes your hotel.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. You got whiskey there?
Yeah, I'm drinking a whole fucking bottle of it right now, dude.
Awesome. That's awesome. Are officers allowed?
If you enter Nick's house and you do not see a
you gotta bring
bottle of
steaks.
whiskey, call the
I'll pay for him.
police.
I got you, bro.
See, I'm trying to connect you guys with Eric Wan from Wave and Neuroscience in San Diego and Coronado. So
shout out to Eric. Yeah,
he's awesome.
That'd be awesome.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna email.
Yeah, Colin, go ahead, buddy. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, aka piss.
Well, we can end it too. We don't have to stay on.
Yeah, if you guys are good.
If you don't mind, can I hit one more thing?
Go for it, brother.
All right, what's yours? I know because we've said Ukraine like 87 times now, so I just
give it to Ukraine.
Right? Yeah. So, the Ultimate Sacrafice Foundation. One, we've identified a Ukrainian family. There's a direct connection between our foundation and this family. Obviously, we don't have enough money to go buy javelins and do God's work. But we also have fucking shirts right now, and they say it's Putin's face and it says asshole. So go ahead and buy one of our shirts. That'd be great. But we have a family that's currently in the Ukraine. They're trying to get out. They tried to get out through Moldova. They were turned away at the border. They were turned away at the border Romania. They're hoping to try and get into Poland. We're trying to get that family. They have family members here in the United States. We're trying to get them here. And we need, some donations to kind of do that. If it comes to it, I'm going to fly over there and I'm going to try and escort this family back if we can work it out that way. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a quick little marriage. But I guess my wife, we got to go home. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But one way, shape, or form, we're going to try and get this family back to the United States so they can safely apply for asylum. So that's our current campaign right now. I just want to throw that out there. We do have shirts out there that are the proceeds of those shirts are going towards this endeavor. So
that's what's up. I'm just a little concerned about a butter bar planning an operation, but if you need some NCO advice on how to get that done, just hit us up. We got a bunch of
he went to Ranger School.
I did progress beyond butter bar. So I was promoted multiple
Just messing with you, brother. That is awesome though. That is that's a feat, man. Yeah, good luck with that.
I appreciate it,
to know more about that as well. Well, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Dude, I love the energy. Awesome. The stuff you guys are doing is just fucking phenomenal. I think this was one of our better shows. We've had some nonprofits on here. We're like, they're okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have we?
Yeah. But you guys are just go ahead, Colin.
No, I said you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you for the opportunity. This was awesome.
This is what happens when you talk to Big Brother. When you come to the 82nd, when you talk to the guys. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, so we want to definitely.
I'll stop throwing shade.
Do it.
Yeah.
So
we want to definitely follow your venture, and we're gonna stay connected. We'll probably talk a little bit after this show.
When are you guys coming to El Paso? Yeah, we got to end the show. Let's end the show.
Yeah, and this Warrior Ride, we definitely need to document that and keep track of that because that's awesome. Little recap: aliens are real, and the guy did get abducted. So
they're not.
Yeah, they are.
It's a cartel
we can talk
job.
about it a little
It's
bit next week.
job.
In the meantime, if you just tuned in, go to gruntworksclothing.com. Check out our awesome merch. I'm wearing the Infidel shirt. Okay. We got the Quit Being a Triggered Pansy. Buddy, your shirt should be in. I don't know why you're not wearing one. And then Joe, you got the VTT Cole shirt on as well. So I don't know what's going on, buddy. One day we'll get it right. Go to shop.veterantrashtalk.com. Okay, you can get some of the VTT merch and Gruntworks merch as well. Part of our proceeds go to Stop Soldier Suicide. I hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday, and we'll see you guys next week. Boom.
All right, boys. Thank you, boys.
Ukraine.
Yeah, you guys stay on.
Thanks,
Love.